Hi, this is Jackie. I'm with Calvary Baptist Church, and I just wanted to share a couple of things just about this idea of what organizing means and why it's really important. The experience that I've had with WIN over the years, I've gone to several actions, but one of the ones that was really important to me, that when the storms, they're all important, but one that stood out, I would say, it was at St. Augustine's Church. This was a couple of years ago, about, I want to say five, all the times running together with COVID, but I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. We weren't sure if the mayor was going to come because she didn't know if we were going to be able to turn out enough people because we said we were going to fill the church, and we said we're going to do it. And her people were on the fence about it. She did end up coming. And she was definitely wowed by the fact that we did fill up the church with people. We were standing room only all the way in the back. And she listened to our concerns. She was very thoughtful. And it led to more people, more council members paying attention to what we wanted to push forward in terms of our goals and our thoughts and our agenda. That said, getting a meeting with someone isn't the end, it's the beginning, because you have to go back again and again and again to build that relationship. And I think there's one thing that I've learned is that there's no permanent enemies and there are no permanent friends. So you have to constantly nurture that relationship and build it and keep going back and keep going back and keep going back. And I think for everybody on this call and friends who you have who may not have been able to join tonight, just let them know it's not like, you have a cold, you take some Tylenol and antihistamine, and the next, week later you feel better. This is organizing is much more like a marathon. You go for sprints, and then they're short sprints, they're long sprints, but you just you have to keep running your race, because if you take your eye off of the goal in mind, it will slip away. So from an organizing perspective, you always have to be nurturing that relationship, or in the case of all of our council members, it's not just the mayor, but to connect with them, to touch base with them, find out what their interests are, let them know what our interests are, and just continue to build that relationship, because it's not a one visit and, oh great, everything's wonderful. It's not. It's going to take time. It does take time, and many visits, many conversations, phone calls, emails, but a lot of really, to the extent we can, and I know that COVID is still here, but if we can make that face-to-face contact, or that Zoom to Zoom contact, but to build those relationships is really important.